Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Diva, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Let's pay homage to the Blessed One, Supremely Enlightened Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu. I pay homage to my teacher, Lukswami Nahanse. Sadhu, sadhu. Do you have any Dhamma questions before we start the sutta discussion today?
I actually have a question from the four powers that we
Right.
discussed. The last one regarding the power of inclusiveness, and Bante Asuta Buddha mentioned of equality, right? Now the equality of stream enter is also equality with another stream enter. So Bante, my question is, even though all the stream enterers become stream enterers, but is there what we call seniority? So let's say, for example, if among the monks, so whoever first ordained, they have the seniority, right? Like ranking, regardless of age. So what about if somebody already becomes stream enterers? So whether they first became or not, is there a seniority that they among themselves have to pay respect? So because equality. Thank you, Bante.
Okay. So regarding the seniority, why we need to know that? It's because when juniors respect seniors, Buddha teaches that is good karma. For example, when children respect their parents, children make good karma. When the younger brothers and younger sisters respect elder brothers and elder sisters, they make good karma. When among family members, when they respect elders, they make good karma. Regarding students and teachers, when students respect teachers, students make good karma. And that is the natural law in this world. So in the Dhamma, among monks and nuns, there is this seniority thing. Those who became fully ordained monks before the others, they are called senior monks, and the other monks are called junior monks. So when junior monks respect, worship, and revere the senior monks, the junior monks make good karma. And that is going to help their spiritual progress. So it is always about the date you become a fully ordained monk. Let's say there's a senior monk who has not yet attained any stage of enlightenment, and there is a junior monk who has attained the first stage of enlightenment. that means a Sotapanna. Or the junior monk has attained the second stage of enlightenment, that means he's a Sakadagami. Or the junior monk has attained the third stage of enlightenment, that means he's an Anagami. But the junior monk has attained the final liberation, he's an Arahant. But still, that Arahant should worship the senior monk who has not yet attained any stage of enlightenment. Because seniority in the Dhamma always refers to the date you became a fully enlightened, fully ordained monk, Upasampada monk. And that is how the natural law works in this world. And Buddha revealed that to the world, so everybody knows now. When junior monks respect, worship, and revere the senior monks, that helps the junior monk for the progress of the path, and that's a very essential factor of the development of the spiritual path.
When this monk first ordained, the date is very, very important. And
Yes.
that is the basis for seniority. Thank you, Bante. Second
Okay.
question is, how does, let's say, the junior monk knows that he has attained this Sotapanna stage? Now, I know that he has overcome the first three lower fetters, but who measured that for him to qualify that he is a Sotapanna? How do we determine so that we can know that, oh, there is a progression? Follow-up question is, what about the other beings, Bante? So if, let's say, in the heavenly world, somebody just attained Satapana, and then here in the human world, there's also somebody who attained, because the last power says about equality. And so how do we know? And also, how do we respect also the seniority of people in the heavenly world?
Yeah, so again, respecting seniors is no difference. It's the same. So if somebody, so now, for example, as I mentioned, that the children should respect parents, in the heaven, same thing. There are sons and daughters in heaven. For example, God Sakka has sons and daughters, so they respect the father, right? So it's like that. And so regarding the second question, how do we know we have attained certain stages of enlightenment? So to give that give the answer to that question, we go to the suttas, and when Buddha was alive, they had the same question. When somebody passes away, the relatives or some monks who knew them would go to the Buddha and ask, such and such person has passed away, and Bhante, we would like to know whether they have attained any stages of enlightenment or where they are now. Okay, so then Buddha would reveal their future. That person has attained the first stage of enlightenment before death. Now that person is in this heaven. He's trying to attain the second stage of enlightenment there. Like that, Buddha would give the details. One day, when Venerable Ananda Thero, the chief attendant monk of the Buddha, went up to the Buddha and asked the same question after about many people who passed away at the same time in a certain village, Nadika village, maybe due to a natural disaster or a flooding, just we can assume. Hundreds of people passed away in that village. So then, and there were Venerable Anandthero knew that there were lots of the followers of the Buddha in that village, and they are all now passed away. And then when Thero asked the Buddha answered, Venerable the Ananda, Uh, every time when somebody dies, you come to me and ask about that person's attainment, and it's a tiresome thing for me. Every time I have to say about these people. Today, I will teach you a Dhamma, specific Dhamma called Dhamma Dasa. This is called the mirror of the Dhamma. It's like when somebody is standing in front of a mirror, they can see, they can recognize their uh, appearance, which is on the mirror. In the same way, the mirror of Dhamma, I will teach you today. So if you recognize these factors in your life, then you can come to a conclusion that I am a stream enterer, I have attained the first stage of enlightenment, and um, I am no longer subject to be rebirth in miserable places. That day, Buddha taught about the 4 factors of a stream entrant. Sotapatti Anga. So the first one is, if you recognize the unshakable confidence in the enlightenment of the Buddha within you, if you can see the unshakable confidence in the teachings of the Blessed One within you, if you can see the unshakable confidence in the Sangha, the noble Sangha within you, and if you can see the 5 precepts are protected in you in a very pure way as a noble virtue, when you see these 4 factors in your life, Buddha teaches, then you can come to a conclusion that I have ended rebirth in hell, animal world, ghost world, and in all the miserable places, and I am a stream enterer. And that happens because you have been contemplating on the 5 aggregates of clinging, and you have realized the 4 noble truths in the initial stage, and the 3 fetters have been abandoned in you. The identity regarding the notion of self regarding the 5 aggregates of clinging has been abandoned. The doubt is abandoned. The meaningful rites and rituals that the wrong view has been abandoned. So now you know that you are a stream entrant, and you will attain the final liberation, freedom from suffering, nibbana, within maximum of 7 lives. So like that, Buddha taught about those factors of a stream enterer, so that uh, the devas and the humans, gods and the humans, were able to recognize themselves after that teaching. And also regarding other stages of enlightenment, Buddha has taught uh, in different suttas um, the the factors they abandoned when they become a once returner, when they become a non-returner, and when they become an arahant. But it's important to understand some monks misunderstood that they were arahants because they experienced such a clarity in their mind, purity in their mind. They thought we have completely uprooted the defilements, and no defilements in my mind. Defilements are not found in me now. So then they went up to the Buddha and they claimed, Bhante, we have attained arahantship, liberation, the 4th stage of enlightenment. Buddha said, no, you have misunderstood. You still have defilements. You still have to follow the path, the noble eightfold path. Then only they knew. So only Buddha was able to see that. Not even Arahant monks were able to see others' liberation. For example, Arahant Sariputta Thero was giving instructions to one of his student monks. While the monk was receiving the instructions, uh, that student monk attained arahantship. But Arhan Sariputta Bhante didn't know that. He kept giving instructions. He kept training him to become an Arhan. But Buddha saw the task is done now. No need any more instructions. Already attained Arhanship. Then then the Buddha appeared there um, and told Arhan Sariputta Thero, no need to give any more instructions. Your student monk is already an Arhat. So it's the Buddha who can see that. And the other thing is, yeah. So if some monks and nuns misunderstood their liberation like that, then we can think that even the other followers can also misunderstand about their attainments, right? So it's a very subtle thing, and the followers should have lots of patience without judging themselves that we have attained this stage of enlightenment, and that stage of enlightenment is just keep following the path, and the Dhamma will give you what you deserve at the right time.
My question has to do with the 10 armies of Mara. I would like to find out two of the points. I want to understand from you what the words of the Buddha are through his teachings, how we should understand this meaning. I know the 10 armies of Mara, but I'm looking for the meaning of number 6 and number 8. Number 6 is cowardice, and number 8 is contempt and obstinacy.
Maybe there are technical translations. You mean the fear, right? Bhiruchambi. That means fear. For example, okay, let's finish one by one. Fear means, let's say somebody can be meditating in a deep forest, right? And then somebody might experience this unexpected fear, and that completely ruins his meditation. And so he has to return. No more meditation in the forest, right? So that can be an attack of the evil one. Just one example, fear. Or maybe when somebody is practicing some type of meditation, somebody would come up to you. Maybe that person was possessed by the evil one and tell you something that would make you scared of practicing your meditation, and would say, don't do that meditation. It's not the right thing to do, and you will have these um, disadvantages of practicing this meditation and something like that, and then you get scared and you don't want to continue with the meditation, and that can be an attack of the evil one. So that's the fear. Fear arises in you, and then that blocks your progress. Just two examples about fear.
My understanding of cowardice is you should not be afraid to do what you think is right if you stand in the Dharma. If you stand...
but that's, even though we stand like that, the evil one is very, very strong and powerful. He can use other people and other things to make such a person also frightened. That's why we call armies of Mara.
So Bhante, does that mean that there's an actual physical being that can come and attack you? Oh, I see.
It's a person. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a person.
Okay.
That's why Buddha had to fight with that person.
Armies of Mara.
Yeah. And he defeated.
How to overcome when it appears, when you are in meditation and then the fear appears?
It's better to talk to Dhamma friends.
Stop meditating.
You will stop in the first place because you're scared.
Can we just stop?
Yeah. So, like, for example, in the Buddha's time, there were some nuns who were meditating in the forest, and you can read these in the Bhikkhuni Samyutta, in the Samyutta Nikaya, the chapter on the nuns. And you can see when nuns were sitting under trees, meditating, the Mara would appear. Okay? And then say, no, meditation, this Dhammapada is not for women. Women cannot do this. Women are not strong enough to do this. And like that, so many things. With the intention of like frightening them. And then the nuns, like, they are already arahants, not
Mhm.
ordinary nuns. Because they are arahants, they have overcome fear,
Mhm.
even as a fetter. So then they would they would recognize. Sometimes the Mara comes in the form of a handsome man and would say, "Throw away the robe. You are still young and beautiful. You spend this. You enjoy the life, and when you are old, you can become a nun." So then they try to make the nun disrobe, and then the nun wonders, "Who is this person? Is this a real man or is this the evil one?" And then they recognize, "Oh, this is the evil one who wants to disturb me." And then the nun would reply, "No, no, I recognize you. You are the evil one, and uh, you cannot you cannot disturb me. You cannot disturb my meditation. And I have cut off all the defilements, and I have won the battle." Like that, they would speak bravely, and so then the evil one disappears. But that's because they were arahants.
Regular.
Yes, yes, yeah. Regular people are always attacked. So they have to be in the Dhamma and try to be in the Dhamma, contemplate the Dhamma, or if it is really disturbing, then you have to at some point go and see the Dhamma teachers, Kalyanamitas, discuss about the things, what happened, and all these things, and get their instructions. Because there is not only one army, there are 10.
But Bante, that Mara can also be within our own mind and our defilements, right? So we have to overcome that with our faith in the
No,
unshakable faith in the
defilement
Dhamma and
separate,
Sangha.
defilement separate, Mara
So,
separate.
okay, got it. The eighth one is contempt and obstinacy.
What is the Pali? So that's from Sutta Nipada, right?
Yeah.
Adana Sutta. Yeah. So I have shared the sutta. For example, karma te patama sena.
Yeah.
Everybody can see that. Sense
Yeah,
pleasure.
that's the first one. Yeah.
Dutiya
Yeah.
arati uchati. This
Contempt.
contact means you don't feel that the
You're not
desire to
happy.
learn Dhamma, to
Yeah.
meditate, you're not delighted. You
Mhm.
feel lazy and um, you don't feel interested in learning and the Dhamma, and that's an attack, right? And then third one is Tatya Kuppipasa means hunger and thirst. Right? So when you are meditating, suddenly you feel hungry. Then
Mhm.
you stop meditation and go and eat. Meditation finish. And you didn't know that was an attack. If you continued your practice patiently, then after some time you feel no hunger, no thirst. But you were impatient, and that was his plan to stop your meditation, right? Okay, next one is tanha, which is craving, and the craving for beautiful things, music, sounds, alcohol, drinks, craving for anything that would block your path. So that's can be an attack coming from him. And next one is dullness and drowsiness. Can be another attack, right? You are meditating while reading a Dhamma book, listen to Dhamma talk, and then you feel sleepy and drowsy and you stop it. That's his goal. Yeah, this one is Bihiru. Bihiru, we learned about that. Bihiru means fear. Seventh one is doubt, right? When you are following the path, lots of doubts come to you and you think, am I doing the right thing? Am I practicing the right meditation? So you are not, there is no joy and rapture in your mind. There are lots of doubts, complexities, and that's his creation. And next one is contempt. Yeah, Makko. Makko means there is this unwholesome defilement, this quality arises in your mind and that would eventually lead to lots of regret and remorse in you that would block your path. So what is this quality? The bad quality is that erasing others' good qualities. Erasing others' good qualities. So somebody has a good reputation and you try to destroy that. Somebody is talking about another person's good qualities, and then maybe you are possessed by the evil one, and then you come up and you say, no, he did this, he did that, and he's not a good person and like that. Yeah, later you realize, no, he or she was not responsible for that, and the person was good character, and then you feel regret, you feel remorseful. That blocks your progress of the path. When you sit for meditation, that regret bothers you. So it started with his attempt. Obstinance is conceit, like ego. So that also when that egoistic mind, that conceit is arisen in the mind, then it blocks the path. Like because to follow this path, one needs humility, the humbleness, obedience, and these beautiful qualities. Instead of these beautiful qualities, these unwholesome qualities like ego, conceit, arrogance, these qualities appear in the mind of the practitioner, and as a result, the path development is blocked. So we go back to our sutta about powers, and Buddha taught about how many powers. Now you can see that on the screen. So this is the sutta we were learning about powers. Buddha taught about 4 powers, right? Power of wisdom, power of energy, power of blamelessness, and power of inclusiveness. We learned all about those, right? Powers. And finally, Buddha teaches the results of having these powers. A noble disciple who has these 4 powers has got past 5 fears. Okay, so the advantage of having these 4 powers, power of wisdom, power of energy, power of blamelessness, and power of inclusiveness, right? Right? This is a sutta, right? So when somebody has these 4 powers, one gets the opportunity to overcome 5 fears in life. Otherwise, these 5 fears will damage the happiness, will steal the happiness of anybody. What 5? First one, this fortunate practitioner has the opportunity to overcome fear regarding livelihood. That's the first one. And the person is fortunate to overcome the fear regarding disrepute. This practitioner overcomes the fear regarding feeling insecure in an assembly, in a meeting, in an assembly. The person overcomes the fear regarding death. Okay, this practitioner overcomes the fear regarding the bad rebirths, unhappy destination. So, do you like to overcome these fears? Fear regarding livelihood. Livelihood means your occupation, your living, your the things you do to earn money, the way you live your entire life. That's the first one. Second one, you like to overcome the fear of disrepute. Do you like others to talk good about you? Everybody likes, right? Some people even can't bear when they learn that others destroy their good reputation. They even commit suicide, right? Because they cannot bear that. When they spread rumors, wrong things about this person. So that means it's a very bad thing. So this person is sad thing, bad thing, right? Painful thing. So this person overcomes the fear of disrepute. And then next one is feeling insecure in an assembly. This person overcomes that fear. That means you can go to any assembly, any meeting, any group of people fearlessly. You can go bravely. You can go with self-confidence. You can talk to them, thousands of people, no fear. And then you overcome the fear of death. This is a very important thing. Many people in this world, we learn that they are afraid of death. And next one is people have what will happen after my death, where I will be reborn, right? They have this fear. And this person overcomes that fear. Meaning, Buddha teaches. Then that noble disciple reflects, I have no fear regarding livelihood. Why would I be afraid of that? I have these four powers. The power of wisdom, the power of energy, the power of blamelessness, and power of inclusiveness. A witless person means an unwise person might fear for their livelihood. I am a wise person. I lived this life wisely. So why should I be afraid of my living, my livelihood? A lazy person might fear for their livelihood. Remember now, what is the energy? We learned about energy. Energy means a mental thing in the Dhamma, right? Remember we learned about energy? See? Energy means one generates enthusiasm, makes an effort to give up unwholesome qualities, right? And to cultivate wholesome qualities. And also energy means one develops one makes an effort to gain those good qualities, wholesome qualities. That is the energy. So that is how I lived in my life, right? The wise person thinks, contemplates. I have lived my life as an energetic person. So a lazy person means when he was living, he didn't make any effort to abandon unwholesome qualities and to develop wholesome qualities. As a result, that person did lots of unwholesome actions because he was lazy to abandon them. So he didn't make an effort to do good things like helping others, keeping precepts, meditation, listening to the Dhamma, studying the Dhamma, practicing samatha and vipassana, practice the Noble Eightfold Path. That person didn't make an effort to do those things. So as a result, that person is called a lazy person, didn't make an effort to cultivate wholesome qualities, and that person might fear for their livelihood. But I was an energetic person. I was trying very hard to abandon unwholesome qualities. I was trying to practice loving kindness meditation. I was making an honest effort to abandon hatred, anger, and ill will. So why should I be fear of uh, livelihood? A person who does blameworthy things by way of body, speech, and mind might fear for their livelihood. But I was doing blameless things by body, speech, and mind. Why should I be afraid of my livelihood? A person who does not include others might fear for their livelihood. I have no, so I was practicing this equality. I was living with good friends with equal qualities, and I was not making, I didn't make decisions in a biased way. I was treating everybody in a fair manner. So like that, the person contemplates, reflects on his living. So he thinks, I have no fear regarding livelihood. Okay. So this is something to be experienced in this very life. And the second one, the person thinks, I have no fear of disrepute. Unwise person will have the fear of bad reputation. A lazy person might have the fear of bad reputation. The person who was doing blameworthy things might fear for the bad reputation. And a person who does not include others might fear for their bad reputation. But I was wise. I was doing wholesome things, blameless things. I was energetic. And so I was trying to understand these amazing teachings of the Buddha, and I was purifying my mind. I was associating with good friends. So why should I be afraid of bad reputation? There are no unwholesome qualities to be found in my life. So others would spread rumors about me or spread bad reputation. No fear. Second one, he has overcome the fear of disrepute. Third one, I have no fear about feeling insecure in an assembly. Unwise person, the person who was doing blameworthy things, the person who was lazy, who was not abandoning unwholesome qualities, who was breaking precepts, right? Not abandoning unwholesome qualities means he was breaking precepts. He was killing, stealing, engaging in sexual misconduct, lying, taking intoxicating drinks and drugs, creating problems in the family, harming many people. So that's the person who feels has this fear of feeling insecure in an assembly, because there are lots of people to complain and would say, oh, you are the person who did this, who did that, right? So that person has fear. So when he goes to an assembly, to a party, to a meeting, he has to always hide. He has to hide. He cannot openly look at others' faces, others' eyes, because he is afraid of being charged. This person thinks, I lived this life wisely. I was not harming anybody. I was keeping precepts. I was generous. I was helping others. I was doing lots of volunteering, helping people. I was taking care of my parents well. I was helping my family members. I was respecting my husband, my wife. I was loyal to him. I was loyal to her, and I was fulfilling my duties and responsibilities well. I was abandoning unwholesome qualities, practicing wholesome qualities. I was practicing this amazing noble eightfold path. I was purifying my mind. So I can go to any assembly. I can talk to thousands of people. I was living my life for the good of myself and for the good of others. No fear, right? So that's how he overcomes the fear about feeling insecure in an assembly. Okay. And the next one, he overcomes the fear of death. I have no fear of death. Why? He thinks an unwise person who lived the life doing unwise things, a person who was doing blameworthy things by body, speech, and mind, a person, such a person would have this fear of death because they would think, oh, I have done lots of bad things, evil things. I have killed others, stolen things. I have broken families. I have cheated others. I have used drugs and alcohol and have caused problems, uh, given lots of pain to my family members and others. So, and I have hated others. That's the person who is going to have this fear of death. Now I am going to leave this world, and I have so many people to ask for forgiveness, which I couldn't do yet. So that's the person. I have hurt so many people. Now I am about to leave this world, and this person feels lots of regret and remorse, fear of death. And this person thinks, I have heard that such evil actions will lead to a rebirth in hell, rebirth in animal world, rebirth in ghost. Those kind of evil actions, many evil actions are found in me. So am I going to end up in such a place? So that's the fear of death. And this person thinks, in my life, there are lots of wholesome actions. Wholesome actions are found in me. I have not hurt anybody. I have not killed anybody. I have not stolen anything. I have not engaged in sexual misconduct. I have not anybody, and I have been making an honest effort to purify my mind. And so this person thinks, so I have heard these kind of wholesome actions lead to happy rebirth after death. So why should I have fear? So that's how he thinks. And then the fifth fear he overcomes. I have no fear of bad rebirth. Why would I be afraid of that? I have these four powers: the powers of wisdom, the power of energy, the power of blamelessness, the power of inclusiveness. A witless, unwise person might be afraid of a bad rebirth. A lazy person, a person who does blameworthy things by body, speech, and mind, a person who does not include others might be afraid of bad rebirth. But I don't need to be afraid of rebirth. I know I am going to be reborn in a happy destination, because these wholesome actions are going to give me a happy rebirth. So those are the 5 fears overcome by a person who has 4 powers. Okay? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So that is the Balasutta taught by the Buddha. And now we have to practice those 4 powers. Yes,
Yeah.
Janet.
Say if we have the 4 powers, but the level of fears of this 5 fears could be different, right? Let's say even though I have this 4, maybe out of 5, maybe one of it a little bit fear, others not fear. It could be
Different levels.
varies, right? I think. Because let's say, for instance, okay, livelihood, I'm very sure I'm not afraid. Example, right? This refute also, but I maybe a little bit of fear of that.
But that's also not permanent, right? Maybe it's in a certain time period you have that fear, and maybe in the future you have also overcome that fear as well. So let's say somebody is about to, like, at the last stage of life. At that point, maybe that person has overcome all the fears. But before that, yes, maybe the different levels. Fear in some areas, less fear in some areas, more fear in some areas. But the person keeps working, right? Working on the path.
And about that rebirth, right? Maybe with the four power, we might think it's not, we should not
Have fear.
not have a fear. But it could be also go into the bad rebirth because of the past karma, which is so heavy and it's ripened at the point of death.
The person who has this kind of a Dhamma practice doesn't need to worry about the past karma.
You will overcome, you will override.
Yes. Yeah.
Past karma.
Yeah. Because Buddha teaches those who at least who enters the path of stream entry, like who is not enters, like who is practicing the path to stream entry, are also guaranteed a happy rebirth.
So a person with these four powers should be at the stage of stream entrance already.
Like at least in the path to stream entry or stream enterers. Yeah. Yeah. Not ordinary people. These people are very serious practitioners of the path. That's why they are called powers. Powers means the things that are included in the lives of serious practitioners of the Buddha. They are called Bala. So these are very good answers for the world. People have these fears. Many people have fears. Fear of rebirth, fear of facing an assembly, fear of bad reputation, fear of livelihood. Even though they don't tell others, they might have that fear inside when they are alone, secluded, So these are good answers to overcome those fears.
It's like anxiety. Anxiety is included.
Yeah. This is like a medicine for those to overcome those fears.
තෙරුවන් සරණයි ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ. ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ, can you explain about some of this Ariyakanta Sila of Sotapanna person, which is explained as Ajit Dasabala Akammasa, then Samadhi Sangvattanika Sila? Because the reason is, in Migasala Sutta, it is explained that even though the Sotapanna person breaks the sila, he has ability to become go up, like a Visheshagami. He can still is in the path because he knows Cheto Vimukti and Panya Vimukti. So can you explain about breaking the sila and then again then having precepts, and then how can we get this, how we understand this Sotapanna person?
Yeah, the difference between the noble the precepts that are admired by the noble ones. That's the meaning of Arya Kantehi Silehi. And then the difference between not following precepts or breaking precepts and having those Arya Kantehi Silehi as a factor of one of the factors of the stream entry. So this person, who is following the Aryakante Sili, the precepts that are admired by the noble ones. Noble ones means the Buddha, Arahants, the noble people. So the person practices 5 precepts, 8 precepts, 10 precepts, or the precepts of a fully ordained monk, that any category of precept is included as taught by the Buddha. All those precepts are included in the noble virtue, the Aryakante Sile. And when they follow the precepts, the special thing about that practice is the person practices these precepts as a part of the Noble Eightfold Path. And when and the precepts are described, the nature of the practice is described as Achidda, Akabala, Asammasa, Samadhi, Sangvattanika, and so on and so forth. So that means the person keeps the precept in a very honest way, and keeps the precept as a factor of the Noble Eightfold Path, and has a very clear goal of keeping the precepts, and the person is mostly very mindful of keeping precepts, and person respects the precepts highly, and if any of the precepts are broken when the person was not mindful, the nature of this individual is that the person would recognize the mistake and re-observe the precept. The person would not hide the broken precept, and the person would not live with broken precepts. That means if this person has broken any of the 5 precepts, for example, and from the time that person broke one of the 5 precepts, that his precepts are not pure now. One of the precepts are broken. So the person would see that as soon as possible they are broken, and the person would re-observe the precepts, understanding the mistake, and would not live as a person with broken precepts. So it's a very very special thing when you compare to a person who doesn't care about precepts, who doesn't respect the precepts, and who find excuses to break the precepts, and who argue with other people. What is the danger of drinking alcohol? And if you don't harm anybody, like that, you argue. The person argues, and that's not the nature of this person who keeps the precepts as a factor of the stream entry. And the person always has the desire to improve, to come to a point one day that the person would not break precepts even for the sake of life. That's the goal. So it's kind of his effort of keeping precepts is an improving one, honest effort. He doesn't use precepts for argument, or he doesn't use excuses to break precepts. It's a different mentality. Okay.
Well, thank you, Swaminathan. Okay.
Okay.
Understood.
Yeah.